It's been less than a week since I said that I wouldn't cover a TWAB or do another Xur video, but yeah, here we are. This video is basically entirely about the TWAB that came out with a lot of Crucible overhaul changes coming in Season 19, and I felt like I had to do a video on this because there is a lot to talk about, and I'm going to be honest, I'm quite excited for PvP in Season 19. I'm not going to go over every single little bit of the TWAB, by all means, there's the link in the description if you want to go read it yourself, if you haven't read it already. But I do want to talk about key points, such as this to start with, because it's a bit of a downside, but I can kind of see what they're doing. And that's basically the discussion of, if Iron Banner is on, then quick play disappears. So I know quite a few people had a bit of disagreements with this. I can see why they're doing it though, because they want to focus more of the player base towards Iron Banner. And with them coming out with this new competitive system, which I'll get into in a minute, I can see why they'll want to push people away from quick play. And just to keep this all together, they're also bringing in a new game mode called Fortress, which actually sounds really fun. It is basically capture the points, but at the same time defend the points. So it's going to be like King of the Hill in a sense, but what I've actually noticed in the image just down here is they're actual turrets as well. So I can only assume this means that when you capture a point, you get friendly turrets that will help you defend the point, which will also make it harder for other players, which makes it feel like a more of a Fortress kind of feel, which is kind of the game mode point. It does actually mention in the description the real fun begins when Keitel gets involved, but again, they're not really giving us too many specifics on that. We just know that we get turrets that are probably going to spawn on the point. Staying consistent with Iron Banner, they are bringing back some old Iron Banner armor, and it does look pretty cool, I'm going to say. And despite being a hunter main, I know a lot of the hunters are like a massive fan of this wolf kind of cape that they're going to get. But I quite like the look of the Titans, if I'm going to be honest. It kind of gives them like a gladiator kind of look, which I'm going to be honest, I'm going to love putting that on my Titan when this comes around. But when it comes to the Hunter, I'm probably only going to wear this when I'm actually doing Iron Banner, because I'm a much bigger fan of the sleeker looking capes, and this one seems like it'd be quite thick, but I could be completely wrong. It does look, it might be thin like the Aphrodite's one that we already have. But I don't know, I'll have to wait and see what this looks like when it actually comes out. Now then, before I move on to the competitive scene that's going to be coming, I am going to briefly talk about Trials of Osiris, because there was an interesting bit of news that came out with this that I'm quite excited for myself. And that is, this armor is rumored to make a comeback. I can't seem to find anything confirmed straight off the bat, so I'm going to say it's rumored for now. But if this is true, I'm going to be very happy with this, because ever since I started playing Destiny back in Beyond Light, I've really wanted this set of Trials of Osiris armor, and I've not been able to get it because they're pretty much sunsetted before I even joined. And then we got the other sets that came along, which were alright, but this one still remains to be my favourite. Now then, the competitive division, which is probably the one thing I'm looking forward to the most out of all the changes that they've made. This is probably going to be a bit controversial compared to some other players, because I imagine that they aren't looking forward to this, but this is just my opinion on it. So in Season 19, they're removing Glory, which I was never a fan of in the first place, but they're going to replace it with this competitive division. So as they pretty much described, they've got 7 different divisions. You start off as Copper, and you go all the way up to Ascendant. I would kind of like to end up somewhere near Gold or Platinum, but that's just me. I think there's going to be a lot of people who are striving for Ascendant, but I'm not going to put that much time into doing this. And the reason why I'm such a fan of this is because I used to play a lot of CSGO back in the day, which are still videos on this channel if you want to go hunting for them. And I've always liked the fact that you get these clear-cut divisions where it's everyone of a certain skill level, so you'll only match with people within the same skill group, which is going to be these divisions. But at the same time, it could be one higher or maybe one lower, depending on how many players are available on that day. And to me, this seems like a much better way to actually match people up. Obviously, you'll get people like Smurfs coming in, because that's the nature of every single PvP game ever. But compared to what we had previously, where you could be matched with literally anybody, then this is a massive improvement already in my eyes. Something else that I have seen floating around quite a bit is that you won't earn major rewards for ranking high on these competitive levels. In reality, that's not exactly true. Whilst you won't actually get more physical rewards when you complete a match in a higher level, you will end up earning more reputation quicker, which they've actually broken down here. So Copper and Bronze gets 1 times, which is the basic, and then it goes all the way up to Ascendant, which is 1.5 times extra rewards. Obviously by rewards, I mean getting reputation to get your Crucible resets faster, which is a really good thing for people who play just PvP and are very good at it. At the same time, it allows lower skill players, myself included, to just literally play Crucible at our leisure and earn extra rewards while we do it. And in my eyes, this seems like a really good way to do it, because the one thing you're not going to want to do is starting to shut players out of getting exclusive rewards. It'll basically be like the entire Trials thing again, where if you didn't have a team of 3, or you wasn't that good at Trials, there was no way you'll get in a Trials of Osiris set or a Trials of Osiris weapon. It would just be completely shut out to you because you don't have the requirements to play it. And something that has finally come into line with the rest of them, Shaxx is having his own engrams, which means you can now focus engrams with Shaxx. Which, I'm going to be honest, is a really good thing, because I'm a massive fan of the Riptide Fusion Rifle and of the Stoic something, I can't remember the name off the top of my head. But this SMG is an ARC SMG, and it's really good to use in my opinion. So you bet when I'm doing the competitive matchmaking, I'm going to be farming for a very good role of this, probably the God role, and then the same for Riptide as well. But that's all I really wanted to talk about. The PvP scene in Destiny seems like it's going to be improving quite drastically in Season 19. But as a rule of thumb, I don't think it's going to be enough to push the players back into it as they probably expect it to. But this is definitely going to kick off a very nice Season 19 when it does come around. But let me know what you guys think about the new PvP changes in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. And if you like the video, remember to leave a like as well. But that is everything from me. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you in the next video.